name's Hezekiah DaCasta. I'm from the Bronx, New York, and I'm a personal chef and private chef for NBA athlete. In high school, I decided when I was in middle school, I chose to go to a culinary high school to pursue being a chef. They asked me what I was interested in, and I went gung-ho with being a chef and went through culinary school, was a part of a few culinary competitions, went to Johnson & Wales for culinary arts and food service management, got my degree, and now I'm here, working for myself, happy, free, and just doing it day to day. Chef & Tailor is a brand about food and fashion. When I was in school, I originally had a clothing brand, and every student that met me thought I was a fashion student until graduation. So being that fashion was my main passion, I was part of every fashion show, part of multiple different things going on within the community. I just had the persona of being a fashion student and fashion connoisseur, whatever. So when I was in college, I actually never had social media. So I deleted all my social media just because I wanted to remove myself, and I just had Facebook. My wife and I was sitting down one day, and I met a bunch of people, and everybody told me oh yeah, what's your social media? Let me follow you. What's your tag? It's oh yeah, I don't have that. It's well, it was a pleasure meeting you. And it's that crushing feeling of I'm never gonna talk to you ever again in life. It's you know what? I'm gonna start a social media. It's me and my wife went back and forth with names, and it's what represents you? It's chef and tailor, food and fashion. What is the combination between the two that can make it seamless? And that's how we came up with the name. And from there, I just been doing private events. My videographer, he's blessed me along the way to record some good content, which has promoted my business and got me to where I am. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Food, fashion, and going with the flow. Influence comes a little bit from my Caribbean background, a lot of the restaurants that I've worked, and a lot of places that I've traveled, and put a little twist on it from fashion. So a lot of the recipes that I've learned are from places that I've worked throughout my career. And every place that I travel, I take back something, or I take a little bit from the culture, where it's I learned something about the culture. It's I'm gonna tie that into my cuisine. So it's that's how I level up, or introduce a new palette, because I don't like to make it very narrow, where it's oh, we only do this. I don't want to be put in a box, because the reason I created my own business so I can not be in a box. And it's I determine what I do. I determine what my title is, or what my cuisine is, or what the description or title is. At the end of the day, it's if I wanted to change this into a food truck, it's that's what it is, because I told you that's what it is. It's I'm in control of what my destiny is, because I'm in control of what I put out. It's if they're gonna buy, that's a whole different story. But I'm gonna put out what I'm gonna put out. A lot of good memories come from me cooking, baking, when I was younger, because I used to bake for church outings or church events, where it's they would always come to find whatever cake I was making, because I would make a different cake per event. It's based on whatever recipe I found online, or whatever thing I felt like making, I would ask my mom to help me figure it out, and it's that's what I was gonna do. It's for church events, it's you're doing whatever you want to contribute. It's not somebody's you have to make this. It's I'm gonna make my contribution, and it's that's where the freedom and the creativity kind of started. And it's everybody would always rave about whatever cake I made. It's yo, this is the best cake. And then from there, transition into just doing food. Go-to meal is anything braised. I like braised chicken, braised short rib, braised fish, seafood. It doesn't really matter per se for me, but the braising technique incorporates a lot of flavor, and it eliminates dry food, if you're braising and cooking the right way, because you have to know what cut of meat, you have to know what you're actually doing to make sure that the end product comes out well. It takes a long time, but the end product is always perfect, as long as you follow the correct steps. With the NBA and NFL, Shout out to Chef Joed, but Chef Joed is a chef that I met through one of my fraternity brothers. He put me in contact with him, and we've worked together over the past few years. Like, he's given me some clients and some events, and we've just worked together to the point where he's seen that I can execute, and he trusts me to carry my business and carry myself a certain way. So he's trusted me to work with some of the clients that he has within his business. So I'm grateful for all the opportunities that he sent my way. Like, a lot of the NBA and NFL specific clients come like from him. But other than that, like, I've met like a few people just through socializing or networking. I have a summer goat cheese and beet salad with a little bit of pan-seared duck. On the base is a herb and Parmesan quinoa. Next to it is a chickpea and raspberry granola with beet greens. So I braised the beets and then sliced them, so they still have that same bite and that same sweetness, but like not too intense because it was poached in vegetable stock. Also, we have honeycomb to add a little bit of sweetness and richness. The beets with the tops, and some shallots, a herb and orange blossom goat cheese whip, and next to it is a beet and goat cheese puree, herb oil, chili oil, and a smoked mezcal vinaigrette. I got this mezcal from Tulum. I just came back from my trip, and most of my dishes are inspired by like me traveling and going places. So I kind of base a dish based on like the mezcal. The mezcal is like a small portion of the actual dish, but like that small inspiration kind of developed the whole dish. So I wanted it to be like a small note that will add some richness and some foodiness to the actual duck, because like I was telling you guys earlier, this mezcal was fermented in a leather-lined barrel. So it's like the leather kind of gives it like a foodie, smoky taste that would complement the actual duck. And it adds a little bit of bitterness with the horseradish that I put inside the vinaigrette. So it kind of ties the dish together. I would say to focus more on relationship building, because like me and you, we have a good relationship off of just like knowing each other, and it's like, but it's like I've never intentionally like, oh, I'm gonna build this relationship to do X, Y, and Z. It's like all my relationships are genuine, which is good. But it's like if I was younger and it's like I had the same tenacity and it's like, oh, I'm gonna like my plans are to do X, Y, and Z. Where do you fit within that realm? Like there wasn't that same like thought process. It's like, it's more like I'm just going about my everyday life, and it's like whoever I cross on this path, I'm gonna like genuinely vibe with you, and it's like if we're on good terms, we're on good terms, and if we're not, then we don't need to deal with each other. And it's like I never really was on the thought process of, okay, I need to utilize these opportunities at college. I need to utilize these opportunities being in the city to move around and do X, Y, and Z. Like I never really thought about things in that manner. So it's like that might be something I would tell myself. It's like you can move smarter to get better results. Grilled cheese sandwich, because you can't, I love dairy. Like you can't miss on the dairy. Like dinner because like I usually don't eat breakfast. Lunch is like whatever I got on the way, so like it might be junk. But dinner, like I'll probably sit down and actually grab something like to like finish off my day, because most of the time won't eat throughout the day, and that's the main dish that I'll eat throughout the day. MJ, because he is the pinnacle and he is the standard of what people are trying to get to. And also, like, I'm a sneakerhead, so it's like my boy got like 23 dope sneakers. Like, you can't beat that. Like, my name is Hezekiah DaCasta. I'm from the Bronx, New York. My business is called Chef and Tailor. It's a collaboration between food and fashion. I would like to shout out Chef Joed, my mom, always supporting me, whatever I do. My wife always being my right hand and standing beside me no matter what decision I make. Yeah, and I appreciate all my supporters. Thank you for everybody always rallying behind me and making sure that you get the final product. Thank you. Slide on my DMs on the gram, Chef and Tailor, CHEFNTAILOR, So and Tailor. Slide on my DMs, slide on my email at chefandtailor@gmail.com. Slide on my website, chefandtailor.com. Slide in the Chef and Tailor Club if you paid that premium. Chef and Tailor Club coming soon. If you ain't spend no money, don't look out for that.